Good morning and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 7 for 2024. Well, we're going to talk about this week's news, or maybe last week's news today, and things that are not necessarily apparent to buyer's agents at times, not because they don't want it to be, but just because sometimes you can't predict and figure out all the contingencies and everything you need to think about when it's happening in real time. And this story happens to deal with a happy ending, thankfully, but it deals with new construction. And in this situation, one of our realtors helped a couple go under contract for a home that was in a new construction area of an existing subdivision. And you would think, kind of like anybody would, that there's already internet services, etc., available in that neighborhood because the neighborhood was already established, and this was just a new section of that existing neighborhood. So we were fast approaching closing this week, meaning yesterday on Friday, and Monday, or sometime early in the week, it was discovered that the internet was not available at the property yet, and the builder had committed to providing the internet, and yet, according to any of the internet service providers, the internet wasn't available, which to the buyer meant that they would potentially have to do without internet service other than what they might get on their phone for a while until more people moved into that section of the neighborhood, onto that street, because it happened to be one street, and then they would establish the internet service, even though it was available in the existing neighborhood in the part that had already been completed quite some time ago. So what is the remedy? Well, in this case, fortunately, the buyer made a decision after discussing it with the builder and after noticing the builder about the deficiency as it related to the purchase and sale agreement. They came to some resolutions. And the other thing that was also a key factor in this was that mail was not available because they had to establish a mail kiosk, and it hasn't been done yet because nobody, quite frankly, has moved onto that street in the new section of the existing neighborhood, and they couldn't put up an individual mailbox. Good grief. So many things happening in one transaction at the end. And unfortunately, that's usually when it happens, is at the end, because people are not necessarily conscious of what they don't know until it matters. And when it matters, it's oftentimes at the end. So the lesson to be learned here is that when you're doing new construction, when you have a buyer that's purchasing new construction, you got to think through all the steps, and specifically things about the internet and maybe postal delivery, because you got to find it out early on in the transaction, and especially if nobody's in that neighborhood or nobody's on that street, and try to find out what the information is and encourage the buyer to do their due diligence when they still have the ability to get something rectified. Don't wait until the last minute. And our realtor did not wait till the last minute. It's just it wasn't discovered until then. But everybody closed, and everybody shook hands, and they all went away happy, as it should be. Now, one more thing, and that's what I want to thank all of you for the month of February, where we are so far, for coming out to all the different events we've had around the company. Your attendance has been amazing, and we appreciate it, and hopefully it's been good for you. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.